Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Bose and I'm a teacher, an author, and an instructional designer. I'm here today to talk about teaching kids how to tell time. I'll be sharing some strategies you can use with your learners to make this concept easy to understand and even fun. I'll start with some tips for teaching them how to read a calendar, tell the difference between AM and PM, and then telling time to the hour, the 5-minute mark, which includes half and quarter hours, and finally the 1-minute mark. Plus, I'll be sharing a bit of my book that teaches all of these concepts using story-based instruction. I'll also be offering some free resources you can download from my website. Let's get started. It's generally considered a best practice to teach about time in this order: calendar, with months of the year and days of the week, then AM and PM, time to the hour, to the 5-minute mark, which includes half and quarter hours, and finally the 1-minute mark. State standards often lay out this in their requirements per grade level, so be aware of what your state standards are, but know that some kids are ready for more at earlier ages than others. Let's go through each of these elements of telling time, and I'll share some resources and strategies for each one that you can use with your students. The first step is teaching them to read a calendar. Teaching the days of the week is a good place to start. Kids generally have a sense of weekdays and weekends, especially once they start school. A great way to teach the days of the week in order is to sing them to the tune of "Oh, My Darling Clementine." Just sing the names of the days in order twice to that tune, and you have a memorable and easy way to help kids learn and remember them. Anytime you can incorporate music into something you want your students to really remember, go for it. Whether it's the alphabet song, the days of the week, or any other topic, music is very effective in helping kids retain information. Another way to teach and reinforce this concept is to display the days of the week in order on a poster or pocket chart. Recite them together verbally or sing them as described earlier every day during morning meeting or circle time until they've got it. You could let a student use a pointer to touch each day as the class sings them. Seeing them in print, even if they can't write or spell them yet, lays the groundwork for future calendar skills. You could also make cards with the days of the week on them and pass them out in random order. Then have the kids take turns putting them in order as they stand with them. This strategy can really reach those kinesthetic or physical learners in your class. Drop a comment below and share your other ideas for teaching the days of the week. I'd love to hear what works for you. Teaching the months of the year works much the same way. You could display birthdays by month either as a graph, using tally marks, or in whatever creative way you wish. Displaying them as a graph can lead to interesting discussions about graphs in your math class too. Again, making cards with the months on them, passing them out in random order, and having kids arrange themselves to put them in the correct order can be fun and very effective too. Displaying the months on a poster or in a pocket chart and reviewing them daily is very effective. I've written a song about the months that is sung to the tune of "I've Been Working on the Railroad." Here's how it goes.
January is the first month, then February's here. March, then April and May come. Spring brings us lots of cheer. June, July, and August brings summer's heat and fun. September, October, and November, then December, and we're done.
Another idea is to display the months of the year by their season. I've made these season cards that create a science tie-in by using trees to show what happens to them in each season. But you could also discuss the weather, what we wear for each season, or the holidays that happen during each. It's totally up to you. Daily interaction with a calendar is essential and can be done during circle time or daily morning meetings. Discuss what day it is. Go through the months of the year and the days of the week as you point out where those are shown on the calendar. Do this daily until students have all mastered these concepts. Discuss what days are yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Talk about what holidays, birthdays, or special event days are coming up. Help them see that each row represents a week and that each numbered square represents a day. Talk about how many days are in this month. Ask how many Mondays or other days there are. Talk about what the date will be in 1 or 2 weeks from today. Discuss what season you're in and what kinds of things happen in that season, what kinds of clothes we wear, and what the weather is like. There's no limit to what you can teach in these types of class meetings using a calendar. You can find many calendar sets commercially, make your own, or visit my website and download my complete calendar kit. It is for use in calendar pocket charts with 3 by 3 inch square pockets and contains all of the items I've shared with you earlier. You get 7 day cards, 31 date cards, plus 5 birthday cards. You also get cards for Labor Day, Halloween, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Election Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Valentine's Day, Groundhog Day, Dr. Seuss's birthday, Easter, Mother's Day, Earth Day, Flag Day, Memorial Day, and seasonal first days. You also get cards for teacher and staff appreciation, field trip day, conference day, assemblies, report cards, school picture day, testing day, 100th day, field day, first and last day, back to school night, early dismissal, and more. These cards slip right in the pockets in front of the numbered date cards. Just laminate and reuse them year after year. You also get 12-month cards to use in a variety of ways, like those I've described earlier. There are 2 options you can choose from. This one is written in simple text. These have some seasonal and holiday decorations included. Use either one at the top of your calendar in a pocket chart or make a poster, or you can also use them to pass out to kids and have them arrange them in order. You also get the season cards with the trees, the months of the year song lyrics, and 36 cupcake cards to display in your birthday graph. Just visit startwithastory.net by clicking the link in the description below and look for my complete classroom calendar kit so you can download yours today. The next step in teaching kids about telling time is to help them understand AM and PM. I recommend starting with an activity where they brainstorm or sort things they do during each phase of the day. Activities done during daylight hours are a good place to start, but be sure to talk about how it is dark and light outside for both AM and PM and how they sleep during both as well. I like to use a globe and a flashlight to model how the Earth rotates and how the sun shines on one side while it's dark on the other. Discuss where you live on the globe and how it's daytime for you when it's nighttime for kids on the other side of the world. Show them how the Earth's rotation is what gives us both night and day, and how it takes 24 hours to spin all the way around. Help them understand this by giving examples of what 24 hours means, such as from the time school starts one day till the time it starts the next day, or from bedtime one night to bedtime the next night. Make it as concrete as possible and use multiple examples to do so. This leads into a discussion about time to the hour and how there are 2 of each time every day, such as 3 o'clock a.m. and 3 o'clock p.m. Start by showing them which hand is the hour hand and which one is the minute hand. Discuss how they both move very slowly, but how the hour hand moves even more slowly than the minute hand. I compare the hour hand to a sloth and the minute hand to a turtle. Both move very slowly, but a turtle isn't as slow as a sloth. If your classroom clock has a second hand, you can let them watch the minute hand move 1 tick forward as the second hand makes its way all the way around the clock. I call this activity Walk Around the Clock. It's a kinesthetic approach to teaching about how a clock works. To do it, lay out a large circle or clock face on the floor. You could use a long rope, 12 chairs, draw it with sidewalk chalk, or lay it out with tape. Just use whatever you have on hand. It may be good to do this in the gym or outside where you have plenty of room. Choose one student to represent the minute hand and one to represent the hour hand. Have both students start at the 12, but have the one who is representing the minute hand walk all the way around the circle 60 times, while the one representing the hour hand only gets to make it to the 1 in that same amount of time. Let the other kids count the laps the minute hand student goes to keep track. You could even play music if you like. This can be a very effective learning activity for all your students because it makes it more concrete. Maybe you could even choose a particularly energetic student to represent the minute hand. Physical activity is a powerful pathway to the brain and can really promote retention of information. I recommend having a full class set of teaching clocks to use with your students. I'll drop a link to this set in the description. It has one large demonstration clock for teacher use, plus 25 smaller student clocks for kids. These are invaluable in teaching kids how to tell time and can be used in so many ways. The minute hand rotates in sync with the hour hand, so kids can not only see how time is represented on a clock, but how the minute hand moves much faster than the hour hand, which are clearly marked in red and blue. The 5-minute intervals are marked around the outside, and the 1-minute marks are shown between each set of numbers. All of these features make this set ideal for teaching kids, especially if used as a follow-up to the walk around the clock activity. Start by explaining which hand is the minute hand and which one is the hour hand. No need to worry about the 5-minute interval markings just yet. Have them first focus on the larger numbers and on the hour and minute hands. Let them observe what happens to the hour hand when they turn the minute hand all the way around. This would also be a good time to let them experience what 1 minute feels like. Use a 1-minute timer, a stopwatch, or just the timer on your phone to let them experience how long 1 minute actually is. You could have them sit quietly or do something challenging like stand on one foot for a whole minute. This helps them see that while they can turn the hands on their clocks quickly, real time passes much more slowly. Explain how o'clock means of the clock, and how that's what we call it when the minute hand is pointing directly at the 12. Next, discuss how the hour hand points to the number that tells the hour. Start by having them match their clock to yours by showing each time to the hour going around the clock. As they gain confidence with that, call out times to the hour and let them set their clocks to whatever time you say. This makes a great formative assessment. Next, remind them of your discussion about AM and PM and explain how there are actually 2 of each time in every 24-hour period. Discuss what kinds of things they are doing at both the AM and PM versions of each time. Here's one example, but you can use any times or activities you wish. Follow that instruction by showing them how time to the hour is written. Explain how the ... 00 stays the same, and the number showing the hour is written in front of the dots. You can then write a time to the hour on your whiteboard and have them set their clocks to it. In reverse, you can set your clock to a time to the hour and have them write it on their whiteboards. You can also use my pre-printed flashcards from my Telling Time card sets. This set contains 152 cards showing time to the hour and to each of the 5-minute marks for each hour going around the clock, plus 36 cards showing time to the 1-minute mark for use when you get to that point. It's also available on my website. Speaking of teaching time to the 5-minute mark, that is exactly what I recommend teaching next. This may surprise you and may not exactly align with your state standards for the grade level you teach, but stick with me on this, because even if you're only required to teach to the half hour or quarter hour at your grade level, explaining about the 5-minute marks will include the half and quarter hours, and explaining it this way will actually make the half and quarter hours make more sense for your students. Start by helping kids see that each space between the big numbers on the face clock represents 5 minutes. You may even want to let them experience 5 minutes in the ways described earlier. This really isn't that much of a stretch because counting by fives is a math skill kids usually learn early on. Many teachers incorporate it into their morning meeting when referring to their hundreds chart. Counting nickels is another way we teach counting by fives, so doing this is not usually a new skill. What may be new is seeing those numbers we say when we count by fives associated with a clock. Now is the time to have them take note of those 5-minute interval markings on their clocks. Have them count by fives as you and they touch each number going around the clock. Another helpful strategy is displaying numbers that show those 5-minute intervals around the outside of your classroom clock. This can be a great help for them to make the correlation between the numbers on the face of the clock and the 5-minute intervals they represent. There are cards for doing this available for free on my website, startwithastory.net. Just as with time to the hour, go through each of the 5-minute intervals for a given hour and let them match their clocks to yours. Level up by calling out times to the 5-minute mark and let them set their clocks to whatever time you say. Again, show them how time to the 5-minute mark is written. Explain how the number before the 2 dots represents the hour, and the numbers after the 2 dots show the minutes past the hour. You can then write a time on your board and have them set their clocks to it. In reverse, you can set your clock to a time and let them write it on their whiteboards. You can also use my pre-printed flashcards from my Telling Time card set. They may run into a hiccup when they get to half past the hour or the 30-minute mark. Because of the way the hour hand has moved halfway between the two numbers, and kids can find it hard to tell which number is truly the hour in question. I found that the best way to explain this is by using the concept of territories. I tell my students that all of the space after a number is its territory. It belongs to that number. The next number doesn't get to claim the hour until the hour hand actually moves into its territory. In this example, the blue arrow is pointing to the territory belonging to the 12. The minute hand is 30 minutes past the hour, so the time is 12:30, not 1:30, because the hour hand has not moved into 1 o'clock's territory yet. Kids usually catch on to this way of explaining it fairly quickly, but if they run into trouble, I just ask them whose territory is the hour hand in, and they can usually see the correct time. Sometimes, if they're still not sure, I have them extend the hour hand all the way through the outside of the clock. This makes it clear which territory it's in. To help them see this concept of territories more clearly, have them color code the numbers and their territories using different colors as they go around the clock. See how the 12 and the space after it are colored red. The 1 and the space after it are colored green, and so on. This really helps kids see where the territories are. I've created a worksheet where you can have your students do this individually. There's also a projectable Google slide you can use with your whole class. The link is in the description below. Either way or both, it's a great strategy for teaching territory. The worksheet version is available for free on my website. The terms a quarter till and a quarter after can be tricky if kids aren't familiar with them and if they don't know to associate them with the 15-minute marks and the 45-minute marks. So it's important to make some mental connections and lay some visual groundwork before you begin. I recommend doing a quick review of how 4 quarters equals $1. Then match each quarter with one section of the fourths fraction circle. This helps them see how 1 quarter is the same as 1/4 of a whole dollar, as well as how and why the terms 1 quarter and 1/4 mean the same thing. Next, draw lines to divide a clock face into fourths, just like the fraction circle. Have them count how many minutes there are in each quarter or fourth of the hour. Then overlay fourths pieces on each section of the clock and label the 15-minute intervals going around the clock. Now, remove the fraction pieces from the clock. Remind them that since a new hour starts when the hands reach the top of the clock, the 45-minute mark is called a quarter till the hour, and the 15-minute mark is called a quarter after the hour. Begin a list of times that are often referred to as a quarter till the hour and another that is often called a quarter past the hour. Let the students complete the lists. Next comes teaching time to the 1-minute mark. I found a great way to do this involves using nickels and pennies. Once your students know that a nickel is worth 5 cents and a penny is worth 1 cent and can count by fives all the way around the clock, tell them to think of the big numbers as nickels and the little marks in between them as pennies, like this. In this example, 12 minutes past the hour is shown by 2 nickels and 2 pennies. The nickels, or counting by fives, line up with the big numbers, and the pennies line up with the little marks in between. So if your students can count nickels and pennies, they can tell time to the 1-minute mark. Such an easy way to teach it, and kids usually catch on quite quickly. All of these concepts are easily explained in my book, Time for Tobias. In this book, Tobias is a boy who is confused about time. Murdoch, a magical monkey with a clock on his tummy, appears and teaches Tobias all about it, beginning with how to read a calendar, then telling time to the hour, the 5-minute mark, and eventually the 1-minute mark. Let's take a peek inside. At the beginning, we meet Tobias and hear how he is confused about telling time. His parents tell him it's time to eat, time to go to bed, time to brush his teeth, and more. They also talk about springtime, Christmas time, and how much time until his birthday comes. Tobias listens, but he doesn't really understand about time at all. One day, Murdoch appears and offers to teach him all about time. Tobias eagerly accepts his offer. Murdoch explains all about using a calendar, including the days of the week. He talks about how each box represents one day and how the last day of a month is followed by the first day of the next month. He explains about how each row of boxes represents 1 week and how to tell how many of each day of the week are in 1 month. He goes on to talk about the months of the year and the holidays and seasons that occur during each month. Murdoch also explains about AM and PM and how the Earth rotates once every 24 hours. He relates that to how a face clock works, with the hands going all the way around the clock twice in that 24 hours. He introduces the vocabulary words noon and midnight and explains what they mean. He talks about things Tobias does in the AM hours, as well as what he does in the PM hours, even separating them by afternoon and evening. Murdoch then goes on to explain about how time is written and about telling time to the hour. He explains about the 5-minute intervals and goes all the way around the clock with Tobias as he reads the times to the 5-minute marks. Lastly, he teaches Tobias how to tell time to the 1-minute mark using the nickels and pennies strategy. My book also includes 15 reproducible pages for your learners to practice reading a calendar, telling the difference between AM and PM, telling time to the hour, the 5-minute mark, and the 1-minute mark. You can also purchase the practice pages separately. Both are available on my website, startwithastory.net. You can even make your very own Murdoch to add an extra element of fun and relatability to your teaching. Just take a stuffed monkey and hot glue a clock to his tummy. To make one like this, just click the links in the description below and you'll be all set to use them with your kiddos. So, if you would like your own copy of my book, just the practice pages, my complete classroom calendar kit, my telling time card sets, my around-the-clock 5-minute interval signs, or my territories worksheet, just visit my website, startwithastory.net. And while you're there, check out what other books and resources I have made for teaching K through 3 kids. I hope you found this video helpful and that you'll check out my other videos that help teachers teach kids about math topics, language arts concepts, and life skills. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook and to visit my website, startwithastory.net, so you can check out all my books and resources for teaching kids. I'm Candace Bowes. Thank you for watching.